Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee are just straight up amazing Pokemon games. The more we get from the Datamine, the more it looks like Game Freak really tried their hardest to make a Pokemon game for everyone, because there are so many features that fans have been asking for years that are in this game, and all it has is just a little sprinkling for some of the new fans and the new kids of this generation, and I don't understand the hate. So if at any point this Datamine has swayed you, I'm going to remind you guys, there's a link to pre-order Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in the description down below. If you've been sitting on the fence, or maybe just hopped over the fence from Hatesville into True Fan Kingdom, this is where you should do it. Just go and grab the games, because it's amazing. Why is it amazing? Well, on top of everything else we've covered already, after the Elite Four post-game rematch, new Viridian City Gym Leader has arrived. Blue, stop by to say hello, huh? Don't worry, now that I'm Gym Leader, I'm going to make sure that all the trainers in Kanto are up to my standard. Oh my goodness, we're not going to Johto, but it's like we're going to Johto. And what I really like about this is that means the story is building more. It's not like you beat the champion and then Kanto gets frozen until we go into Gold and Silver version, and then we learn about what ended up happening. It's like Kanto progresses as it was. So you take down Giovanni, who's going to be the HM leader, which we already knew about, but then after the game, the world changes. You're able to refight gym leaders as well. Post-game gym leader rebattles are in. So the gym leader's gonna get stronger. Blue comes in and he just starts slapping everyone around until they get better. And then he just goes and takes over and keeps building upon Kanto. That's beautiful. That's amazing. Also, this is spoilers, guys. Now here's the thing about the channel. I don't like putting spoilers in when it comes to storyline stuff, when it comes to Datamine. And this is like a weird spoiler thing, but it's also amazing because, like, we're talking about when we fight Red. So that seemed pretty much a given from the last trailer. Actually, that's confirmed from the last trailer that we got, because we just see Blue show up and say, hey, but then we actually see the fight start with Red. Well, if you don't want to know how strong Red's team is, and you want to kind of preserve that magic of when you walked into Mount Silver and just got whooped, Red has level 85s on his team, being one of the strongest trainers, if not the strongest battle. We're in a kind of weird place because Red, Gold, Silver, alright, barely broke 80, had his ace Pikachu. Heart Gold, Soul Silver brought us the strongest trainer battle at that time, 88 Pikachu, 80 Lapras, 82 Snorlax, and then 84s across the board. So all 85s, it's kind of a toss-up if you find that harder or slightly easier or maybe the same, but we're getting echoes of the best Pokemon game in Heart Gold Soul Silver, and the difficulty does scale up pretty well. We have Master Trainers, where you have to get a species of Pokemon up to level 75 to at least have a competitive chance, and then the Red refight is pretty much when Pokemon just didn't care about your sensitivity and being easy and would just hurt you. So this is what I mean, like that's pretty crazy. Pikachu, Machamp, Arcanine, Lapras, Snorlax, Venusaur. Now, some people are upset like, wait, how does this make any sense? Well, it's true to the original interpretations of Pokemon, because Red chooses Bulbasaur, and I think this is amazing. Also, Blue is green, green is Leaf, but Leaf isn't Leaf anymore because the Datamine shows that her name is Green, so all the localization is weird because we had Red and Green version going into Red and Blue version, Yellow appeared, and then we got Fire, Red, Leaf, Green. But overall, this is actually pretty cool, because people were upset like, oh man, why is Red's team so different? Well, this is actually about as true to Pokemon as it gets, which I think is pretty cool. We still have a Snorlax. Toxic, dude, look at this. Look at this Snorlax. That is the most hateful hate I've ever seen. Toxic Protect, Rest, Body Slam. I guess you can bring Gengar and just like hard counter that, but if you don't bring Gengar, you're going to have a very bad day. Arcanine's still pretty good. I mean, just this actually looks like a really intense fight. And then Green. So we get to fight and see Pokemon Trainer Green, so classified as Green, not Leaf. Clefable, Gengar, Kangaskhan, Victreebel, Ninetales, Blastoise, still a pretty cool team. And it still makes sense to everything that we've seen. So then that means that Blue's probably going to have a Charizard. Actually, we see that. I haven't looked at Blue's team. I think we get that Gym Leader Blue, Tauros, Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Alakazam, Exeggutor, Charizard. And that's going to be the refight. So the post game is going to have gym leaders in the level 60s, which makes a good amount of sense right there, which is what we're expecting for like the pseudo Johto shenanigans happening. I like it. And then just all of these high level Pokemon fully evolved. That's going to be some good experience grinding if I have ever seen it. we have a few other things to break down. We have the champion. So the champion is maybe the only thing that can be seen as a slight downgrade or disappointment. Only 3 moves. Now I don't find that like the worst thing ever, because the move options can only get so deep and only accomplish so much. I think for the most part the Pokemon do what they need to do, but the levels are a little more whatever, and also it kind of shows the different ones. So if you chose Let's Go Eevee, he's gonna have a Raichu. If you chose Let's Go Pikachu, or yeah, if you chose Let's Go Pikachu, he's gonna have a Jolteon. So that's interesting that we have the electric representation regardless. But then Slowbro, Rapidash, Marowak, Vileplume, Pidgeot, pretty diverse team. And then we also have the levels on the refight. So the champion refight is going to be the same as the blue gym leader refight. And we also don't know how much the trainers across Kanto are buffed at this point, but it all kind of comes together and makes sense. And then for the refight, he picks up his 4th move. So we're going to get that, kind of adding Shadow Ball to the Jolteon, making it where your Gengar isn't going to completely roll over him and stuff like that. As for champion battles, this is what I mean by it's a slight downgrade, because the original red, green, blue versions, 65, 63, so we were into high 50s into the low to mid 60s instead of just kind of like mid-high 50s across the board. Which means that some shenanigans might be pulled, because remember guys, the reviews are saying that Mount Moon is actually a bit more challenging than it was in Red, in the original games, but also that we can see these levels scale up. There's super trainers. Now, I'm not talking about master trainers, but there's super trainers that are stronger. The levels actually start to take off pretty rapidly, and we can even see trainers that don't have level 46 Wartortle now having level 46 Wartortle. So I think that actually is going to be because we don't have Victory Road just giving us like insane amounts of experience. So maybe because of like all the trainer battles, all the wild Pokemon we're going to see what happens, because yeah, with all the Pokemon catches, all the trainer battles, all the gym leader fights, it seems like the levels are, maybe it's going to go from kind of normal mode to a little harder and then get easier towards the end of the game. That way kids are encouraged to keep playing and then finish it to make it to post game. But once you hit that post game, everything's easier. We're going to see how that champion fight goes though. And that's kind of it on that front. As for some of the other things, I'm just kind of like running around with the numbers and whatnot. We already saw in the recent trailer, Green, she's going to be kind of in Cerulean Cave, so you head on over to Cerulean Cave. We got a new interaction right there. You have to battle her before you can start going through the cave to capture Mew. I guess that means, or not Mew, Mewtwo, so that means Mewtwo probably going to be level 70, level 75. Pretty solid fight right there. We already know about the legendary birds because we saw those in the trailer. And then the trainer refights are going to spice things up quite a bit, because if you can do that, and there's like all these high-level trainers and stuff, that means getting level 50 Pokemon for competitive going to be super easy, and the experience rates are going to be pretty maddening if you can just kind of like get these non-stop level 50, 60 plus battles, all that experience on fully evolved Pokemon. But remember, there's also this mechanic. Power up your Pokemon by battling. So having a trainer refight, you know, if you can actually get these, if each trainer has a set value, and then after the game they start giving you like +3, +4 per battle, it looks like it's already been kind of confirmed that there's no battle facility, there's no other there's no extras outside the region. It's pretty much all Kanto, but then they just fill it in with all kinds of new stuff. So that means like if each trainer is kind of set, this is your new battle facility. Rebattling the gym leaders, gaining stats that way, gaining experience that way. Rebattling all the trainers, gaining experience that way, gaining stats, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So I think it's still going to work. Like, there's still going to be more than enough to do in the post game. It's going to stay challenging. It's not like you beat it and then there's nothing left because you beat all the trainers and you can't really do anything. Still got a lot of master trainers, still have a lot of trainer refights, not to mention the insane new ways of getting competitive Pokemon. Because here's the thing that people keep forgetting about Pokemon whenever they want to make just a needless, pointless, invalid rant about the game, where it's like, oh, there's no post game. It's like, no, Red and Blue still had a post game. It was called getting Pokemon to level 100 and then battling your friends. When we started getting also like the flat battles, that was really what accelerated Pokemon having all this competitive stuff, because then you wouldn't have to just stop at level 50 for competitive and stuff like that. Either way, now we have ways of training Pokemon and then you battle. Each battle is going to be different. You can make more and more Pokemon in a quicker amount of time now. You can also do all kinds of crazy things. So this is where the lifespan of any Pokemon game has always been. Now hacking drastically reduces that by speeding it up and then like making it where people don't want to play anymore. But hopefully the hacking isn't as terrible, and this encourages people to play legitimately to at least balance that out. And then at the end of the day, we're going to have something to where people can play all kinds of stuff. Also, the new candy system looks insane as well. And that's before even talking about Pokemon Go integration, because even if you're like not even a dedicated Pokemon Go player, just a moderate Pokemon Go player, you have a lot to do right there with the play yard, with bringing over your Pokemon, with catching your Pokemon from Go, also maybe using them for training, exclusive moves coming from Pokemon Go potentially. So there's a lot of really awesome things that are happening in this game. And I think that's just cool. So comment down below if you made it this far in the video. That means you must have enjoyed it or something, so you can leave a like as well and tell me what you think, because I think that this just kind of shows that Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, keep trying to be the best Pokemon games ever, and I think they're succeeding. I need to maybe like just shake off all of this immense bias I have towards Heart Gold Soul Silver, but maybe Heart Gold Soul, I don't know, guys, it's just crazy at this point. This is how conflicted I am. Soul Silver, maybe my second favorite Pokemon game because of Let's Go. Maybe.